Hi everyone, I'm Ali GREYMOND. Today I'm answering questions about OCD recovery. These are the questions that you left below my videos. The first question is, can anyone tell me on how you do ERP for Bureau, please? And I like how the person says, can anyone tell me? Because there's such a community that's been built that constantly helps each other under the videos as well. So please, if you would like somebody else's help besides my own, please feel free to ask, because everybody is really great and really helpful if you need somewhere to turn. In terms of how you do ERP for Pure, so Pure is pure obsessional OCD, meaning there's no physical compulsions, or maybe there's technically they say there's no physical compulsions, but usually when you look into it, there's at least a little bit, like some compulsions, maybe the online research, things like that, like, or asking somebody, which is technically, a compulsion, right? So there's that. How do you do ERP for it? So ERP stands for exposure and response prevention. So in this case, the thought itself is the exposure. And the response prevention is, instead of saying, oh my God, this thought is so scary, this must be valid, and really analyzing it, you're saying, no, OCD, choosing not to react. And then you refocus on something else. Anything that's real life stuff, non-OCD related. And I would say when you're refocus on something that's engaging, not just like say, for example, like refocusing on watching TV. Well, it's a very passive activity and it's hard to keep on track when you're trying to do that. So something I find that when a person refocuses on something kind of logical, like calculating something, making a plan for something, that takes them away and uses kind of different resources of the brain to refocus and reshuffle the situation. You absolutely can't allow yourself to react to these thoughts, to take these thoughts seriously. The more you take them seriously, the worse they're going to get and the more real they're going to seem. So, no, I'm not reacting. I'm not taking them seriously. Doesn't matter how real they seem. Doesn't matter how scary they come into your mind. No, not doing it. I've done it enough and now I'm done. Kind of taking that attitude, and you will feel like you're taking a chance, but you're really not taking a chance. It just feels like that in the moment because the thoughts feel so real. So you have to say, yeah, sure, I'm taking a chance. Yeah, everyone, depending on your thoughts, I don't know what your thoughts are, but like, kind of saying like, say if you're worried about like, what if this person dies or whatever, right? Yeah, everybody's gonna die. Yeah, choosing not to react. Yeah, it's gonna be all my fault. Everybody dies. Really taking it to that level and saying, I don't care. I'm choosing not to care. I'm choosing to be done with it. I'm sick of OCD. I'm not playing this game anymore. And that determination is what will carry you through to the finish line. Next question I have is, hi Ali, I've been suffering so bad for the last 3 years that my life came to a complete standstill because of this. And now I feel traumatized by everything that happened and is still happening since this began, which is causing me to think even more about the whole situation. I keep thinking about how it all started, how I couldn't recover, and now I feel how I felt great before this. This is the most painful. So how do I stop thinking about all this and focus on recovery? So in this situation, since you are analyzing this so much, right, the what happened, right, and the whole process of how everything happened, this is becoming an OCD thought. So you want to take it, like, instead of running away from it and being scared of this, say, okay, you know what, I was happy before this happened to me. What was the statistics that they say that it takes almost 14 years or 14, 15 years, something like that, to be actually properly diagnosed that this is OCD, because there's just not enough help out there. Like, this is how bad things are. So, you're not the only one dealing with this kind of thing, right? But the more you focus on this, the worse it's going to get. So you have to say, yeah, you know what? This happened to me. Things happen to people. This happened to me. It's happened to Ali. Happened to a lot of people. If you look in the comment section, happened to all of us, right? But now I need to focus on getting better. Otherwise, I will not recover. So you have two choices. You either focus on the whole situation and get worse and worse with it because you're analyzing, you're taking it seriously, you're showing your brain that you're in danger, that you're in fear, or you're saying, you know what, putting a line here. That's it. I'm done. From this point, I'm only focusing on recovery. I'm only thinking of recovery. I'm not powering this up in any negative way. Any negative self-talk, I'm done doing that. And the more you do this, the more your brain will refocus. You can't feed it. You can't feed it in terms of directly analyzing the thoughts and also analyzing the situation as well. So all around you, you have to choose not to. From a position of power, from a position that I'm sick of it, I want to get better. A person was asking about pure OCD and having intrusive thoughts and saying that they're scared and crying all day and just feeling bad. And, it does get better, but it only will get better if you work at it. So, your mind can paint any scary picture. The more you believe that picture, the worse you're going to feel. The more serious it will seem. The more real it will feel. All these things, like, but what if? What if this? Do I feel like I want these thoughts? Do I want them? Do I not want them? Let me try to figure it out. Let me analyze. Let me do a compulsion. You have to choose not to do all of it. The more you go on this ride of OCD, the worse it's going to get, So it's from a position of power saying, I'm not doing this. Try to scare me. Show me the scariest possible movie you can possibly show me. And then you say, so what? Wasn't even that great. Just don't take the thoughts seriously. I know they feel serious. I know they feel real, but it's a lie. You're not the only one experiencing these things. A lot of people are experiencing these things. And for everybody across the board, it feels very real. It feels very valid. But the more you allow yourself to take this seriously, the worse this is going to get. And I know I say this over and over again, but it's true. It's true in every single case. So you have to stand up against OCD. No more letting it push you around with these scary thoughts, scary images, whatever. Bring it. I don't care anymore. And then you will see that there's actually nothing behind that curtain, where you actually step up to it. There's nothing behind it. It seems scary, but there's nothing actually there, And then you start to gain power as you go, But whatever thought you're getting, whatever awful image you're getting, it's not real. It's just a made-up OCD thing. So choose not to react. Choose to look at it like, okay, and then what happened? So what? Nice story. You should make it into a movie. Like kind of like really taking it to that level and saying like, can't scare me. The more you do this, the more power you get. So next question is interesting. What does recovery mean to you? Full recovery is full recovery. You're no longer anxious. You're no longer analyzing. You're no longer plagued with these thoughts. And most importantly, these thoughts are no longer coming to you. So that neural pathway stopped being powered up because you stopped reacting. And little by little by little, it died out. The brain unflagged this situation as important. It's no longer bringing it up, and because your anxiety is not high, you can see it clearly, just like everybody else can see that this situation is silly and not worth your reaction. Because right now, when your anxiety is so powered up, when the feelings are so strong, it's hard to see reality, So as everything kind of decreases and normalizes, then you're no longer scared of these thoughts, and the brain doesn't bring them up anyway. So it becomes a nothing. Now, in terms of the overall life, are you never going to get stressed? Are you never going to get anxious? That's not true either, right? Because we're all human beings, and it's naturally for humans to experience different emotions, But will you ever have OCD thoughts? No, you will not have OCD thoughts in terms of the way that you're getting them now. What they say is from the get-go, people with OCD and this is not just what they say, like this has been proven in studies that they've done, that I think I have a video on this study actually, that people with OCD and people without OCD get exactly the same thoughts, but the reaction is different. So say, for example, you're driving in the car and you're like, oh, what if I swerve the car and hit somebody, you know? And the person with OCD or who's about to develop OCD would think, oh, what does this mean about me? I'm a bad person because I have these thoughts. And the person without OCD would barely notice the thought and be like, oh, whatever, that's silly, you know? They probably wouldn't even actually say those words because they would have to acknowledge it to even say that. You know, and that would be it, you know? So that's how your brain would be, just like anybody else who never had OCD. This is the end of this Q&A. I do have quite a few questions, so I will be doing more Q&A. So if you left a question, I would say a week or more ago, then that's probably going to be in the next video. So please look out for that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you'd like to do the recovery program, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.